Hi there. You're looking at the Naugatuck River as it runs through the town of the same name here in Connecticut. And it was here on March 1780 that a group of rebel trackers, otherwise known as Minutemen, came hurrying through this area, across the river into a couple miles away into an area called Gunntown. Hello again, my name is Len Yanelli, and I've had the privilege over the last 15 years to read, write, and research this incredible story that happened here in Connecticut, in the Naugatuck Valley. And it's resulted into a book called Hurry Down Guntown. Some of the details are those rebel trackers were tracking a secret British agent, a particularly vicious guy by the name of Captain Graham. And he led a gang of Tories, young Tories, that raided a house in colonial Bethany. And they made their way back up the Naugatuck Valley and again hurried across this river into the Gunntown area. Now the reason they were going into the Gunntown area is because there were royalists there and they knew they could get protection there. So what we end up with here is a really riveting story of this incredible colonial chase down the Naugatuck Valley. And it doesn't end there. There was a role played by many people. There was a mother of one of the young Tories. There was an African-American slave. There was a kidnapped colonial boy by the name of Chauncey Judd. There were young Tories themselves actually in the gang confronted the British agent, and there was a dispute there. And of course there were the rebel trackers themselves. And all this connects to the second part of the story, in which in the 1990s into the new millennium, this history was able to be used to help save some land in that same Gunntown area, one of the last bits of rural Naugatuck. So you get this incredible interconnection between these two stories. And this interconnection happens in a number of different ways. For example, in the colonial period, did you ever ask yourself, why is it that Connecticut was never occupied by the British? They were controlling New York City, they occupied Long Island, they had British men of war going up and down Long Island Sound, yet they never made inroads in occupied Connecticut. And I found out, or got some hints of the answer to this question in researching this incredible story. One was that the colonists here were very much organized. They had the committees of defense and correspondence that facilitated communication between Connecticut and the colonies. They had vigilance committees in the towns that kept an eye on local businesses and made sure they were trading in boycotted products from the colonies. Long Island, we got the New Haven Railroad going by right now, which wasn't there in the 1780s. They also had this incredible revolutionary spirit. Some of those same characteristics marked the organization that happened in the 1990s into the new millennium. It was a number of youngsters, particularly young women, that connected with some veterans of the peace movement and social justice movements of the late 1960s, early 70s. There were a woman who was the head of a Girl Scout troop who played a very important role. So you had some of these same elements. They also were able to rapidly respond to events and hurry down to Gunntown when the land there was challenged to be used or to be plowed over, we might say. So you get this interesting interconnection, holistic story, even though these events happened in two different centuries. Well, I have to be going now, but again, the book is available on Amazon.com, and it's your chance now to hurry on down to Gunntown.